What's up, YouTube? WK Dad Team DKF. At the conclusion of this video, check out my blog. You guys will be able to find articles about my ideas about the game, as well as the Decklist Compendium that was moved from my website. It's now on the blog. There'll be links all over the blog, and you can find different things there. There's not a whole lot going on my website right now because I'm trying to get that to look a bit more professional, so bear with me, and we'll get that back up and running. Had to bust out the OCG Donzlug and the regular Donzlug. You know, the Battle of Donzlug is coming up soon. You guys will be able to see it this month. I hope you guys like it. I've been working on this for about 6 months on a series. It's like a 20-part series. Each video is supposed to be like 2 to 3 minutes long. And I'm just really nervous, and I hope you guys really like it. But anyway, on to the Decklist video, guys. Alright, props goes to Jeff Jones, who was some of the inspiration for this build. And so let's see what we got here. We have 3 Chaos Sorcerer, 1 Caius, however you guys say it, Sangin, 1 Reaper, Plague Spreader, 2 Effect Veiler, 2 Ryko, Lila, Mystic Tomato, 2 Lone Fire Blossom, 2 Debris Dragon, Trumadrock, 2 Trupa de la Carta, 1 WK Spore, 1 Globe Bulb, and 1 Lowen thingy. Alright, on to the spells. So here we got 3 Pot of Avarice, 2 MST, 1 Giant Shrunade, Foolish Burial, Charge the Light Brigade, Monster Reborn, Mind Control, 1 for 1, and Dark Hole. Next are the traps. And finally we have the traps. Solemn Judgment, 2 Solemn Warning, 2 Limit Reverse, Call the Haunted, and Return from Different Dimension. Next we will have the Synchros. Alright, the extra deck is a little interesting. We have Dark End Dragon, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Magical Android. These are off to the side separate from the rest of the list of Synchros because I'm feeling that if Trishula is going to indeed be at 3 when it becomes legal for play, the Dark End Dragon and Ancient Fairy Dragon both will become Trishulas, and Magical Android will be a Tech Genis Hyper Librarian, as well as one other card from my extra deck, and I just haven't figured out what. Maybe it'll be the second Black Rose Dragon. As for the rest of the extra deck, we have Scrap Dragon, Colossal Fighter, Stardust, Arcanite, Iron Chain, Bryanak, as you can see, 2 Black Rose, Catastor, Armory Arm, 2 Formless Synchrons. I'd like to take this time next to kind of tell you some of my card choices, the reasoning behind it, and how some of it works. Alright, the first thing you're looking at is, oh my god, Chaos Sorcerer Z3. Yes, Chaos Sorcerer Z3, and to any of you who played during the Chaos Return format, back when there was Recruiter Chaos and all kind of this craziness with triple Chaos Sorcerer, triple Return, you know how good this card is. It's a fucking +1 almost every time it hits the board. So that also warrants the inclusion of Return. You have to realize that, yes, you do run enough lights and darks. Every other sort counts as a dark. So you have this sort, and more than likely 1 or 2 of these are going to get milled to fuel his summoning condition. And we run plenty of lights. In addition to the Synchros and the Lightsworn engine, more than likely you're going to have a Veiler dumped. And you guys just have to trust me, you run enough lights and darks to run triple sort. It's rarely dead, and you just run it because it's too good and it's just too powerful of a card, and it fuels your secondary win condition, Return from Different Dimension. Chaos. Now, I know Jeff Jones runs 1, but if you remember, I started running just 1 Chaos immediately upon the release of Duelist Revolution, because in play testing, my Chaoses were getting warning and veilered all the time. I dropped Chaos for a while because I didn't like using a normal summon, but that damn spot removal that Chaos provides is just too damn good, so he's back in as a singleton. Triple Pot of Avarice is easy to justify. We run the small Lightsworn engine with Charged Light Brigade and our Lightsworn monsters. And then we have double freaking Card Trooper. How sick is that? Double Veiler. This has been staple in plans for a while. Some people are going back to one. I just feel it's two. We have a low trap count in my build and many other people's builds. And Veiler just protects your setups in so many ways. It's just pretty much undescribable. One for one. While Dandelions just at one, people are thinking this is bad. I was thinking it was bad too. But look at it like this. It's a freaking win more card. Usually you don't want to run a bunch of win more cards. A win more card is a card that if you're winning, it helps you win more. But if you top deck it, it sucks. You know, you can still dump a bulb or spore or plague spreader or that last light or the last dark you need or the last pot of avarice monster. You know, it just has so many other different combos. And so that's why we run it. You know, it's the neg one, but you know, you could potentially plus a turn or two later. So it's just too freaking good to include. Double limit reverse. We lost the ability to spam tokens. Limit reverse allows us to do that. Plus with Card Trooper being at 2, we could potentially beta MST, limit reverse the Card Trooper, get that draw. And that's why it's in there along with the Call of the Haunted. Mind Control, I don't think I've ever ran Mind Control in plants before. I had to look through some of my old deck lists. But, I mean, it's sick. You got to run it. It's like you run 2 Formless Synchrons, Plague Spreader, Spore, and Bulb. Not to mention Double Effect Veiler. You run a shit ton of tuners. I don't really count Debris Dragon among the list of tuners because you can't sync with level 4s. And those are what you're going to be stealing most often to sync with. But Mind Control is just retarded in the ability to move monsters out the way and then just to synchro with them. So that's why that's in there. Next, I'd like to talk to you guys about cards that are not in my build. Finally, okay, let's talk about the cards that not include. We got Trap Stun, Decree, Mirror Force, Bottomless Trap Hole, Torrential, Deep Prison, Book of Moon, Gores, and Tragodia. At the top, Trap Stun. My initial build ran double Trap Stun. I felt, you know, that I needed Trap Stun to make sure my plays went off. And then I realized that plants have so many weapons that they're disposable. You have Rykos, you have Lila, you have Chaos. And if you adjust the way you think about the deck and adjust your play style, you'll realize that if your opponent sets 5 back rows, you have cards in your deck that if played right can set off all those cards in one turn. In several duels I was able to set off a Warning, a Solemn Judgment, and a Torrential and still win that turn. Flip the Ryko, they Warning, summon Lila, Torrential, Foolish Dandelion, got it 2 tokens, played my Charged Light Brigade, happened to hit a Spore. I was like, oh my god, that's pretty sexy. Remove, try to make Brio, they Solemn. I was like, oh my god, I just won. Dropped Sorcerer for game. So you guys got to realize that the deck can do all kind of nutty shit without Trap Stun. You just have to play your cards right. Decree. So many people like the Decree variants decks. There are a lot of people who are really successful with it, but it's hard for me to get my head to wrap around the idea because I've never lost to a Decree, a deck that main Decree. I just don't do. I mean, as soon as I see Decree, I say, okay, I'm synchroing all over your face because you can't stop me. Especially with Book of Moon at 1, you can't stop me. I'm gonna tap dance in your face, and I'm gonna do bad things to you. So that's why I can't run Decree. Mirror Force, Bottomless, and Torrential. I haven't main decked Mirror Force in my tournament decks in a very long time, simply because you know, good players will set off back rows before they make the big push, and most people expect Mirror Force, so if they're expecting it, there's no reason for me to run it because they're going to be cautious anyway. Bottomless Trap Hole doesn't really hurt anything this format, so it's not necessary in the main, in my opinion, and I don't want to wipe my field with Torrential Tribute. I know I've run a lot of good floaters that don't mind Torrential Tribute, like Spore and Dandelion and Sangin and Car Trooper, etc., etc., etc. But I developed my field really fast, and I don't want to wipe that all out. I know it's a good equalizer when your opponent overextends, but again, it's the same concept with Mirror Force. I want them to think that I run it. That way I can run other cards that help me win. Torrential can help you win, but it's more of a defensive card, and I'm trying to be aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. As we say, be aggressive. Dimensional Prison, amazing card. There's just no room for this shit in plants. Maybe side decked, but again, I'd rather be aggressive. I'm not so much worried about defense as I am offense, and that's why Book of Moon and Deep Prison aren't in there. Book of Moon is just a singleton. It's at 1. I didn't like it anyway when it was at 3 still. I didn't run it last format. And since it's at 1, I have even less of a reason to run it. I mean, it's good. I run it in my Curries and other decks. I just don't want to run it now. Gores and Tragodia. Oh my goodness. I mean, since Gores came out, I've ran Gores in every deck. But I've run Return from Different Dimension, 2 Warnings, and Solemn Judgment. And of course, you can play around that, and it's not that you put yourself in a situation to where Gores will be dead. But like with everything else, I'd just rather run more suitable cards. Tragodia. Of course, I usually have a large hand when I have Tragodia, but we're going to sound like a broken record here. I'm just going to let them think that I'm running all these good cards, and I'm just going to be aggressive. Tragodia is great and all. You can steal their shit. You can tune with it by adjusting the levels. He had a bunch of cards in hand. He's a ridiculous beat stick. But there's no room in my build. I run 41 cards. And I'd like to keep my monster count down because Gravekeeper still hurts me really bad. And I just haven't found room for these. I've been doing fine without them. Many opponents think I'm running either one of these cards, so that makes them cautious, and we're going to keep it that way. Maybe further testing in the format will change my mind, but for now, none of these cards will be in my main deck. Side deck's a different question. So let me know what you guys think of my build. Again, props to Jeff Jones. His build is tremendous. He runs 42 cards. I run 41 cards, a few different card choices, and I like mine better. Alright, it's WK Dad, Team DKF. Shout out to Team Purple Panda, and I'm out.